Welcome, dear sadhkas. The exercise of tabulation of mathematics formulae is bringing us face to face with the data organized making text of Ganita Sutras. For this exercise of tabulation of Vedic mathematics formulae, one is to sit comfortably and to permit the transcending mind to glimpse and imbibe the values and features of organization of the text of Ganita Sutras. The organization format features of the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras makes a source of data. This source information sequentially is to be followed as per the sequential organization of the working rules of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras. The beauty of Vedic mathematics is that it simultaneously organizes as well as sequentially preserves the process of organization as well as the process of unfolding of the organization as well. It is this self-referral feature of the text of Ganita Sutras which deserves to be comprehended well. One is to begin like that, and ultimately the end reach is going to be at the same initiation point itself. Let us sit comfortably. One shall sit comfortably and to permit the transcending mind to fully glimpse as that though the Ganita Sutras avail Devnagri alphabet letters and the organization features format of the Devnagri alphabet, but at the end we will be face to face with the blissful features as that Devnagri alphabet itself stands organized as per the principal values of Ganita Sutras themselves. Likewise, the organization of Vedic knowledge as well will bring us face to face with very blissful feature as that Vedic knowledge settles the Vedic mathematics text, and on the other hand, the values of Vedic mathematics are the base values of organization of Vedic knowledge itself. It is this self-referral feature which deserves to be comprehended well. One is to be conscious at the initial stage itself as that the values and principles at the base of organization of the text of Ganita Sutras are the values and features of the Ganita Sutras themselves. It is this self-referral feature which deserves to be comprehended well by us. By this comprehension would mean that we shall have a fresh visit to the text of Ganita Sutras as well as to the text of Ganita Upsutras. Once we are face to face with this text, then the first feature which will come to pointed attention is that this text is availing letters of Devnagri alphabet. Therefore, Devnagri alphabet that way is the prior organization and the text of Ganita Sutras is subsequent organization. However, when we will be in a position to melt our mental state because of the linear organization, and once we will be having spatial thinking process in place, then we will be in a position to have an appreciation as that 2 as 1 as well can be the working rule. Beginning and end at the same place is a definite rule, and it is a rule of a spatial organization. And Vedic mathematics is a spatial organization mathematics. It is organization of the creator's space. Therefore, though it will look like that for glimpsing the values of Ganita Sutras, we have to have prior glimpsing of the values of Devnagri alphabet, but ultimately, once we'll be through the glimpsing process of the values of Ganita Sutras, we will be face to face with the blissful feature of the spatial order, as that we will be having blissful appreciation as that the Devnagri alphabet itself stands organized as per the values and principles of Ganita Sutras themselves. With this in mind, we shall proceed a step ahead, and with fresh visit to the text of Ganita Sutras, we will be face to face with the factual matrix, as that the text of Ganita Sutras is availing 36 distinct letters of the text of the Devnagari alphabet. Devnagari alphabet is having organization of 50 letters, out of which only 33 letters are being availed, and in addition 3 letters, namely first 3 vowels, are also being availed in their elongated form, and that way the text of Ganita Sutras is the text of 36 distinct letters. This feature is that out of the 50 letters, only 33 of them are being availed, together with elongation form for the 3 another letters. So this feature of Vedic mathematics will bring us face to face with as to how the self-referral systems are formed, of how the foundation of formation of the self-referral orders is in working place when one part is taken as applied value and other part is taken as pure values foundation. Here 36 letters make the applied values format of Devnagari alphabet for manifestation of the text of Ganita Sutras, while remaining letters are the foundational values. So the text organization of Ganita Sutras is having foundational basis of the letters of Devnagari alphabet, which are being not specifically availed for the text itself. The another feature which is to be properly appreciated at the outset itself is that once we will be transiting from letters alphabet to numbers alphabet, and once we will be having translation of the texts of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras into numbers alphabet, and once we will be face to face with this organization of the text of Sutras and Upsutras in numbers format, then we will be having comprehension as that the sutras 1 to 16 are availing letters as are tabulated in column number 2 in the table on the left hand side of the computer screen. The second column gives the letters of the sutras of column number 1. Sutra 1 is a composition of 16 letters. Sutra 2 is 28 letters. And like that, the total 283 letters composition comes to be the text of Ganita Sutras, and likewise the text of 13 Ganita Upsutras comes to be of 236 letters. This complete text of Sutras and Upsutras as of 519 letters as such is availing in all 16 distinct values. At the bottom of the right side table of the computer screen is tabulated distinct letters ranges. These are 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 28, 32, and 37. See, there are 16 sutras. There are 16 distinct values, ranges. The first sutra is a composition of 16 letters. So value 16 here is the central focus value. Value 16 is parallel with the dimensional value of dimensional frame of quadruple spatial dimensions of the creators of space. There are 16 sutras, there are 13 upsutras. These together make 29 hymns, and value 29 is parallel with the TC value of formulation Brahma, creator the supreme. This way, this organization of the text of sutras, upsutras, is bringing us face to face with its organization format features. However, to have complete glimpse of this organization, we have to chase this text of 16 sutras as these texts sequentially lead us to sub-formulation like ek, a, api. There are 86 such formulations which are lively here in the text of 16 sutras, and a step ahead there are as many as 80 such formulations lively within the text of 13 Ganita Sutras. One may have a pause here and make oneself conscious as that this text of 16 sutras and 13 upsutras, making 29 sutras, parallel with the idol of Lord Brahma, creator the supreme, and value 29 with value 16 as values range, having 13 factors, and value 16 itself is parallel with the value of the dimensional frame of quadruple spatial dimensions. So this set of sub-formulations, 80 parallel with 80 cubes requirement for complete fixation of 10 creative components of the solid domain, and value 86 being parallel with the synthesis of a pair of transcendence ranges of 6th order. So these are the features, these are the values which are at work in the organization of the text of sutras and upsutras. So while we will be having tabulation of the working rules and applied values of Ganita Sutras, we shall be having in our mind this large, lively reservoir of sub-formulations within the text of 16 sutras and 13 upsutras. We will be sequentially coming to these formulations as well. So for the present, let us have a further focus upon some of these formulations. Say the formulation adhik, it is more than. So the processing and formatting component more than, sum is equal, noon is less than, sum is parallel, Kane is question, interrogative, Yadubunam is less than, complementary, Udharv is upward, Tiryag is crosswise, Yojit is addition, Gun is multiplication, Ek 1, Dua 2, Sapt 7, Nav 9, thus Shunyam, Ank, then Adi, Ant, Parmam, Niklam, Puranam, Apuranam, Vyasti, Samisti, Shesh, Veshtanam, and all these are formulations. These word formulations of the text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras are 46 in number. So see, the first letter of the text is the sixth vowel, value 6. There are 16 sutras in all. The first sutra as a source sutra and first Upsutra as source Upsutra together are a composition of 16 plus 10 is equal to 26 letters. There are 36 distinct letters being availed for the composition of the text of Sutras and Upsutras of 519 letters of range. Then there are precisely 46 word formulations of 16 letters and 13 plus. Say Ekadhikain is 1, Purun is 2, Anurupain is 3, and like that, Gunit Samuchya Gunita will make in all 46 distinct word formulations, making entire text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras. See, value 6 has a very specific role to play. Value 6 is the first perfect number. Value 6 is Surya Ank. The first sutra says Eka Adhikain Purvain, one step ahead of the previous step. Purv is east, on east is sun, and one step ahead would mean it will take us to pole star Dhruv, the origin of sixth space, which ultimately will bring us face to face with the transcendental phenomenon of Brahman domain. So Vedic system is at work, and the Vedic system is to reach from Surya to Brahm, from perfect number 6 to perfect number 28. So in the process, we are in fact on Brahman pilgrimage upon a Surya Rath. Surya Rath, the chariot of sun. Surya Rath is the formulation of TC value 23, which is Anant. So this system as it is, the system as it stands organized, the system as it unfolds, the system as it works is lively for all components of its processing and formatting both. So processing and formatting are the dual aspects with which we have to acquaint ourselves well to be parallel with the Vedic mathematics, to be parallel with the Vedic sciences, Vedic technologies, to be parallel with Vedic system, to be parallel with Vedic knowledge, to be parallel with Vedic enlightenment. Therefore, we have to sit comfortably and we have to permit our mind to continuously remain in transcendental state, because the mind is of the setup which sequentially acquires different states parallel with the consciousness states. And these mental states are to be sequentially melted. It is so required as the organization format of Devnagri alphabet itself is of compactified state. Devnagri alphabet is not only letters alphabet, it is numbers alphabet, it is Thapatya alphabet, it is an alphabet of content flow, it is an alphabet of remanifestation. So these 5 layered compactification of the format is to be sequentially reached. We have to sequentially melt our mental state because of the linear order, spatial order, solid order, and even the creative order, so that we will be in a mental state of a transcendental order. That being so, that while we will be entering upon the exercise of tabulation of Vedic mathematics formulae, then we have to make ourselves conscious as that at the compilation stage in which mental state we are. So when we will translate the text of Ganita Sutras into numbers format, only then we will be entering our arithmetic operations and number theory. The application of the Ganita Sutras and Upsutras as demonstrated in the Vedic Mathematics book and diaries of Swami Bharti Krishna Tirtha Maharaj is essentially confining itself only to the numbers alphabet. And the extension thereof would mean that we have to melt our mental state, and accordingly we have to transcend the numbers alphabet format for its Sthapatya format. So today our focus be taken as that in the coming session we will be tabulating arithmetic operations and number theory applications of Ganita Sutras, but that would not mean that Vedic mathematics remains confined up till that, or it stands restricted up till that. The sway of the values of Ganita Sutras transcends the numbers alphabet. It even has a reach at the subsequent phases and stages of Sthapatya, content flow, and remanifestation. And then again, we will come back to for cyclic operation of Ganita Sutras. So at that second phase and stage of reapplication, these 283 letters as a line, when will be of placements along the circumference, then the beginning and end at the same ment will add one value, and this value will become 284. And it will be very blissful to take note that within the gaps of shlokas, punctuations, 18 times of Srimad Bhagavad Gita text are lively, precisely 284 values. So Ganita Sutras are lively in the gaps of punctuations of 18 yogas of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And step ahead, Ganita Upsutras are lively in the organization of Shrimad Durga Saptati. Both Gita and Shrimad Durga Saptati are scriptures of 700 shlokas each. Gita is an organization of 18 chapters, while Shrimad Durga Saptati is an organization of 13 chapters. The 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a scripture of 29 shlokas range, while the 13th, the last chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, is the scripture of 29 shlokas. When we will be transiting to an integrated format, then blissfully we will be entering Ayurveda. Hirde Sthanam in particular, Sutra Sthanam especially, and that will be most blissful applied values range of Vedic Mathematics Ganita Sutras. Thank you very much.